Hello.
Hello,
Hey,
buongiorno,
buongiorno. Or as you guys say, ciao.
ciao.
By the way, ciao in Italian means both hi and goodbye.
Yes, exactly.
That's
So
interesting.
when you're with a friend, you usually say ciao both when you come, when you arrive, and when you go away.
That's very interesting. Okay, so can you please introduce yourself first?
Absolutely. My name is Emma Piretti. I'm Italian, from an island actually, the second biggest island, Sardinia.
Okay. So Emma, welcome to Kazakhstan. Is it your first time here?
It is my first time in the country, but now I'm here 4 months, so I'm getting used to it.
So you said you come from Sardinia, right?
Yes.
Is that at the warm place?
It is a very warm place compared to Astana. I arrived here in November, and in Sardinia was still 30 degrees Celsius, and here it was 10 degrees Celsius, I think.
How do you cope with that weather? It's still March, it's already spring, however, it's still cold and snowing.
I feel like I got used to it, at least to the snow and to the cold. It was a shock the first time at minus 45. But other than that, I also lived abroad and I got used to the cold in other places.
Where did you live except for Kazakhstan?
I lived in Sweden, I lived in Scotland, I lived in Switzerland, I lived in France and Japan too. So in Sweden it's pretty cold, also minus 20, and I got used to the cold there.
Let's talk about what you do here in Astana. How did you come here? How did you know about our country?
I knew about Kazakhstan actually since Expo 2015 in Milan, because I was there and it was the panel for Kazakhstan. So I knew a little bit because of that panel. Then after I studied abroad and I met people from Kazakhstan, and this is already sparked an interest for the country. And I had the opportunity to come here for a job in an Italian language school. So now I'm here teaching Italian and English and helping students who want to study in Italy.
Is Italian popular among Kazakhstan people?
Actually, I was pretty surprised that it's more and more popular than I expected, because it's not popular for a lot of people. So we have some people who are interested. I would say people who want to study, people who have family, or people who studied in the past, maybe because they've been to Italy and they want to take their Italian back.
How many students do you have right now? Roughly.
Roughly, I would say like almost probably like 60 students. I mean, this is an average now, trying to count, but
Yeah, 60.
yeah, maybe a little bit more because I have both groups of people and individual people.
That's pretty good. Well, can you say a few sentences in Italian, probably describing this? What is that?
Ok,
Let's listen
perfetto.
some Italian.
Yes. Beh, questo non è proprio italiano, penso sia un croissant più che un cornetto, ma la Nutella è italiana, questo è poco ma sicuro, esatto. Quindi questa è Nutella con il croissant.
È buono?
Sembra buono, sì. It looks good, yes.
Yeah.
To dip it in the cappuccino first.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I do it as an Italian. Spasiba.
So finally coffee has come.
Esatto. E una cosa da fare.
And you wanted to show us something. What are you gonna do? What are you doing?
È buono. Beh, la Nutella è sempre buona. Il croissant sa di burro, è soffice, croccante. Nice.
Let's talk about coffee drinking culture in Italy. What can you say about it in Italy?
I can say that, well, it's very different I think from a lot of places I've been, because for us is a way to meet people, to spend more time with our friends, sometimes also family. When you're at home, you are around the table drinking coffee. Sometimes it's just an espresso, so the coffee ends early, but the chat is long. So I feel the coffee culture, well, is very strong because we have part of our identity in having our coffee at the bar and spending time at bars,
Right.
which for some people, bars and cafes are separate. For us, it's the same place.
So what do you say? You guys can drink beer and coffee in the same place in a bar?
Exactly. Not at the same time, but yes. So it's a different part of the day that you can spend at the same place. In the morning, it could be a coffee or a cappuccino, and in the evening, it could be a spritz, for example, or a glass of wine. And we stay at the bar, just sitting outside most of the times, um, with our friends, sometimes also some family, and we just talk for hours. Okay, after we finish our coffee.
Can you compare coffee cultures in Kazakhstan and in Italy?
My idea is that here you have chai, and for us it's coffee. So you you do the same. You go out with friends for a tea, but of course you don't just have tea. You also have something to eat. You spend time chatting. It's a quality time
Yeah.
with your friends and family, and you do it sometimes at a cafe and sometimes at home. And I feel this is very similar. It's just one is tea, one is coffee.
And what is different? Like you mentioned something about quick.
The difference is that for us, coffee is either a way to meet, or if we really need coffee, it's a very quick. Tea takes time, but espresso, it's fast.
So talking about different types of coffee, like espresso, cappuccino, americano, etc. Which ones are more popular in Italy?
Espresso, definitely. Also for at home, we drink espresso. Like in the morning, you have your mocha,
Yeah.
you make your coffee, and you just have it. Some people mix it with milk, latte, but usually if you are at work, you take your coffee break,
Yeah.
pausa café. Most of the times, a few coffee breaks, so multiple times. You go to the bar, you ask for it, you just drink it, and then go back to work.
We can call you a coffee enthusiast and staying in Kazakhstan. What can you say about visiting local coffee shops and coffee quality in general?
I think, well, I don't know much about coffee culture in Kazakhstan, to be honest. I know you have a few Italian brands, which is nice for an Italian coming here because it reminds me of our coffee. But as if I go to with my Kazakh friends outside, I usually don't order coffee. I order chai because it's more typical also for them. But I wouldn't say you can find good quality coffee also here. You have some Italian brands like Lavazza. You can find Illy. You can find Segafredo. You can find some good quality. It's just sometimes it's gonna be a little more expensive, but still good.
All right. By the way, regarding the prices, can you compare the price for the same cappuccino here in Kazakhstan and in Italy? How much would it cost in euros, of course?
Well, the last time I checked in Italy, this one would have been between €1.50, so around 1,300 tenge, to €2. So it depends. 2,000 tenge. But if you have an espresso, that is €1 in Italy.
€1.
Most of the places, unless you go to famous places, it's €1. So 500 tenge, if I'm not mistaken.
Continuing about coffee, the most famous coffee chain in the world, Starbucks, and its owner, its founder, Mr. Schultz, he was inspired by Italian coffee houses, and he wanted to bring this culture to the United States, and he was pretty successful about that. How about Starbucks coffee chains in Italy?
He didn't have much success. Also because if you went to Starbucks like outside of Italy is a place where you go, you can study for hours, you can have your coffee, but it feel like it doesn't feel special. Um, I think there's one Starbucks only in Italy and it's in Milan, but it's a little different from the usual Starbucks. It feels more like an experience because for us, like going to your local bar, this is your family experience, your city experience. You have the people that you know, you greet them, they know you, and we have so many coffee shops that Starbucks wouldn't like take. You know, it doesn't have much appeal for us.
Would you say that's kind of family business? Many coffee shops they have long histories.
Not many, but a lot, I would say. We have like coffee shops that are run by the same family for 4 or 5 generations sometimes, or the same guy that worked there 45, 50 years and he's still there serving you, for example.
Can you give so many famous Italian coffee brand names, coffee houses, probably coffee shops?
But that's the point. We don't have chains. We have your own city coffee shops, your bars.
So you don't plan to expand? I mean, Italy.
No, that I know of. I'm also from. I traveled and I cannot think about coffee chains where I've been at least.
Okay, after coffee break, let's continue and go back to Italy. Your name is Emma Piretti, and for us, any Italian name and surname sounds like a name for a brand, like a brand name. You take any surname, Manzoni, Piretti, Pirelli, and etc. So let's talk about Italian fashion industry because for us, one of the most associations with Italy is fashion. Dolce Gabbana, Versace, Prada, big brand names. So let's talk about this. Can you comment about fashion industry in Italy? Why fashion industry originally came from Italy, and why Italians are so fashionable?
Oh wow! I don't know if it came exactly from Italy because I think it has a long history about people in the nobility, probably like wanted to appear like nice, always trying to find something different for the next big party, big event. But in Italy in general, I think it's true that we like appearance. You know, maybe because we like to spend a lot of time outside, so we like to look good. And also like people who grow older like to look good. So no matter what age you are, you try to dress very nicely. And
regarding the big fashion houses like Dolce Gabbana, Prada, Armani, Versace, and others, are they also popular inside the Italy?
They are. They definitely are. They are not affordable for all Italians, but they are popular for sure. Like a lot of people, they save money to try to have at least one bag that is from a fashion designer. Or they also, like tourists, sometimes like to go to Rome or Milan, to buy some nice clothes, nice jacket from one of these popular brands. Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about famous Italians around the world. Right now, for instance, for us, we would say that we know for sure the guys like Toto Cutugno, Sophie Loren, Monica Bellucci, and they're how popular these guys inside Italy.
Sofia Loren, Monica Bellucci, Celentano.
Celentano,
You also know they are very popular. I mean, they made a huge part of Italian history, not only music for us, but also on TV. Because Celentano, for example, was a TV host for a long time, other than a singer. Sofia Loren is one of the most beautiful woman of the century, I think. Also, is being proclaimed, and we take pride on the fact that she's Italian. But others that you have here that are famous for you, they are famous Italian persons, but we don't look with the same gaze, the same way that you do.
By the way, you said Sophie Loren. We say Loren. So the correct pronunciation is Loren.
Well, Sofia Loren is not her actual name.
Yeah.
So it's her art name. So in Italian we say Sofia Loren, yes. But I know that in a lot of other countries they say differently.
What about Monica?
Monica Bellucci, I think, is also like an icon for us. You know, per esempio, a lot of her movies, like we grew up with, and we always look at her as such a beautiful woman that she made it outside of Italy, because you can see her in the international movies. And she also was a fashion icon, talking about fashion.
And probably still is.
Still is. I mean, Sofia Loren, Monica Bellucci, we still look at them with pride, I would say, and beauty.
And they might be ambassadors of this, again, fashion houses, Dolce & Gabbana, Prada, Versace.
Exactly. I mean, both of them are still very active, I would say. Sofia Loren also, she's 89. She still makes movies.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes, so she doesn't live in Italy anymore, but for us, she's still very important.
Going back to Toto Cutugno and his most famous song, can you sing a few lines from this, the song I'm talking about?
I can try.
Yeah, please.
Lasciatemi cantare perché ne sono fiero. Yes, it is very popular.
Continue.
No. Sono un italiano vero.
Yeah, bravo.
Grazie. Grazie mille.
And as for the recent days, Italian singers, bands, who are the most popular ones?
Internationally, Maneskin are very popular. I think when I traveled a little bit in new places, everybody knew about Maneskin. I think recently, the past few days, we had Sanremo in Italy. It's a big Italian music festival, and we have a singer that now is also popular because of course, medias.
Mhm.
She's called Mango, is her name, from an Italian famous singer. Is her father. Oh, Pupo.
Pupo, yeah, Pupo.
Pupo, gelato al cioccolato, dolce un po' salato.
Yeah. All right. Can you, please,
Okay.
a few lines?
Yes. Gelato al cioccolato, dolce un po' salato, tu gelato al cioccolato.
Bravo.
Yes, grazie. Yeah, I was surprised how famous Pupo is here in Kazakhstan. Pupo also came here for concerts, which I think we haven't had in Italy from Pupo for a while. But here,
Surprisingly.
yes, here he still does a lot of concerts and is very appreciated.
Right.
So I was surprised about this.
Yeah, except for these famous Italians, there are many guys around the world of Italian origin, let's say, who are quite popular around the world. And just a couple of names like Madonna, Robert De Niro, Leo DiCaprio. What about these people and how Italians treat them? How do they perceive them?
I mean, we like them as actors and artists, but for us they are not Italian because they are Americans. They do movies in English.
Right.
They do like a big blockbuster movies. So we just feel they're not Italian, but we like them no matter what, even if they are American Italian.
That's interesting because for us Kazakhs, if Kazakh lives somewhere around the world, even in the third or fourth generation, but he has even the slightest part of Kazakh, we would consider him as a Kazakh. That's very interesting. What about, for instance, Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga, well, I think for us, she's also appreciated by some people, but it's we take a little pride in the fact that she's cousin with a person that is famous in Italy, an Italian TV host and a musician, well, singer. So we still like them, and again, we still believe she's from the US. She's not Italian, but we like that she has like such a strong connection to Italy still.
Let's try to sing it together. 1, 2, 3. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Oh partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Bravo!
Bravi!
All right. So you've been staying in Kazakhstan for 4 months already, and you have something to compare. Let's talk about Kazakhstani and Italian people. Do you find anything in common, and what are the main differences?
I think one thing that is very common between Italian and Kazakh people is the appreciation of food and family bonding. At least where I come from, family is like taking relationship and the time to make relationship with your family is big. Like quality time with your family is big. And here in Kazakhstan, it's very similar. You appreciate your Sunday evening with your families. You actually take time to prepare food for them and eat with them. So also here, I would say we have a joke in Italy that you start to have lunch at 12 maybe, and you finish at 6 p.m. And I feel here it can be very similar. And also how you appreciate people and welcome people with food is very similar to Italians. I would say that we like to share our food with our friends or people who we like. And
So,
it's the same.
in Italy, do you invite guests to your house, like a friends?
Yes. I would say it's pretty common,
All right.
which didn't find common in other places that I've been. But for us, it's like inviting people over and show them our family, our house, how we cook is very common, I would say.
Did you have a chance to be invited to guests here in Kazakhstan?
Yes, I had a chance to be invited, and my friend cooked for me fish barmak, which it takes a long time to make, and I feel it was the same when we do lasagna for people. It takes sometimes from the night before you start.
Oh, really?
Yes, to make a good sauce, you start from the night before, and I feel it's very similar. I also had the chance of people that I invited over, and they brought food with them, which is also typical Italian. If you're invited somewhere, you always bring either food or something to drink, or you want to share with them your culture, I would say.
Regarding local food, did you get used to it? Were there any problems with it? What's your favorite one?
My favorite food here is actually kurt.
Wow.
Yes, which is, I know for a lot of people it's very salty, but it reminds me a little bit like to Italian cheese, like aged Italian cheese. At least a pecorino, a little bit.
Pecorino?
Pecorino,
Is
yes.
it the type of cheese?
Yes, it's a type of cheese.
Pecorino.
Pecorino sardo is from Sardinia, and it's also a little salty when it's like aged. And kurt for me is also very similar because a lot of kurt comes from sheep milk.
Yeah.
And in Sardinia we use sheep milk to make cheese. So maybe that's another thing. Then one difficulty that I found is there's a lot of meat involved, which in Italy also we eat meat culturally, but
Not too much.
It's not as much. I felt here I arrived, it was every time for every dish, which for me is like more is one part of the meal, not the whole meal. But other than that, I feel also that Italian food you can find it everywhere. So if I really miss it, I can find ingredients. Also, ingredients we have here are very common. We have very similar food, other than borscht. Borscht is different.
Borscht. You tried?
Borscht, no?
Yeah, you tried here?
I actually haven't tried borscht yet. It's one thing that I'm still missing.
Okay. All right, Emma. What else can you say about your experience in Kazakhstan and differences with Italy?
One big difference when I arrived and I noticed is our technological Astana is actually is. For example, for us, we still use cash to pay for a lot of things because they don't accept card because there's a minimum requirements. But here, I can only pay with my card or my phone for everything. I don't need to choose. If I go to get a coffee and it's €1, I still can pay with my card. Or for the bus, now we have a few cities they use like apps, but here I just need my card to pay for my bus ticket.
Do you use any local cards or any other technological products?
Yes, I made Kaspi when I arrived, and here everywhere I can use Kaspi to pay for my bus ticket, to pay for the grocery. Also, when I go get a coffee, I just pay with Kaspi with everything.
How long did it take you to make it?
To make it, if you have all the documents, it's I don't know, 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's very quick.
1 or 2 minutes, you said.
2 minutes, because you still have to write down your contacts, so you have to take that time.
Can you show the card?
Yeah, absolutely. Like actually, this is the card, very bold. And then you just have an application for everything, and I think this is very, very technological as an Italian. I would say I can just also I went there and there was someone speaking English, so I didn't have any problems because I don't speak Russian. And one guy helped us through all the process, which was quick anyway. And that's it.
Emma, and regarding similarities again, can you compare the languages? I mean, Italian with either Kazakh or Russian? Any common words, probably phrases?
To be honest, I go around the city and I see so many Italian names everywhere. So I guess
Really?
a lot of people, yes. I just turn around and I see Prego. So you're welcome. I turn around, I see a shop that is called Grazie. So I guess also we have
Manzoni.
Manzoni.
Fermento.
Fermento, exactly. This place Fermento. Fermento is Italian name, is Italian word. Or there's a restaurant there called Marrone Rosso.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Yes, or Mamma Mia, Focaccia. Like so, people here are surrounded by Italians. But I feel like there's also similarities in language because words like periferia are the same as Italian, which is crazy for me with Russian. Then we have, for example, pasta or tipo. Tipo is one that I hear a lot from a student.
Tipa.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And it's Italian actually. It means like something.
Ah, wow.
So there are a lot of things that are very similar.
Concurs.
Huh?
Concurs.
Concorso. Very good. Esatto. So, like even when I speak Italian, if I don't speak fast, they might catch something, that I say and understand me. Because unfortunately, I don't speak Russian yet. So I only know it from my students that we have the same words.
Do you know any basic phrases in Kazakh or Russian?
Yes.
Can you pronounce some of them?
Well, in Kazakh, I can say thank you, Rahmet. I can say you're welcome, Okazajok. In Russian, I can say can I or can you, Moshna. Or I can ask you how are you, Come stai, Как dela.
Как дела?
That's my whole.
Can you repeat again?
Как dela, Come stai.
¿Cómo estás?
That's Spanish.
Yeah,
Careful. So I know some basic words and sometimes we use them, but I feel like there are a lot of similar words. For example, everybody here knows bravo because of theater. So if I say bravo, which is maladies, I know that they understand. Yes, also I know that some proverbs in Italian translate the exact same in Russian. Because I don't know about Kazakh, but for example, when we talk about, there's a saying in Italian, non è oro tutto quello che luccica. It's not gold, everything that sparkles. And you have the same one. I don't know how you translate it, but I know it's the same exact words.
Не все то золото, что блестит. Okay, there is another one. Rome was not built in a day.
Exactly. Roma non è stata costruita in un giorno. Rome wasn't built in a day. This is a little all over the world, but I also know that you use it with a different city and with the same city.
The Russian version is Moscow wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
And the other one is all roads lead to the Rome.
Very good. Tutte le strade portano a Roma. And you have all the roads brings to Moscow too.
No. It's
Roma.
Rome as well.
Okay.
About Kiev, it's Tan. The Tan will lead to Kiev. Right, if you talk too much, for example. Very good.
Buon appetito.
Grazie.
So this is borscht.
Interesting.
Have you tried it before?
I always seen it, but I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, really?
Esatto.
So is it popular in Italy?
It's probably not popular, but if you go north, you can find it, I think.
Okay.
Because if you go to Poland, so not far from Italy, you find borscht.
Okay, then enjoy your meal.
Grazie.
So Emma, you are eating traditional non-Italian food.
Yes.
Let's say Ukrainian borscht. And after that, we're gonna go to the kitchen and try to prepare something. What we're gonna cook?
We're gonna make some pasta.
Pasta. And how about coffee?
Coffee, yes, of course, espresso.
Right.
So let's try to do that.
Okay.
The apron.
Right now we're going to the kitchen. So that's the name of the restaurant we are in, Fermento. All right, please take it.
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Ta-da!
From the one you can wear the cap.
Yes.
Let's show the cap. F. Yeah. Fermento. Perfecto. Emma, so let's go down. We're gonna go to the kitchen and cook pasta and espresso.
Espresso.
All right, Emma. So we are finally in the kitchen. What we're gonna do right now?
So we're gonna make pasta alla arrabbiata, which is a very simple dish. Because Italians actually to eat pasta, because it's something that we eat commonly, we don't take a long time. We take simple ingredients and we use them together, and in 20 minutes, sometimes even less, we're gonna have our meal.
Okay. Which ingredients do we need for this pasta?
Okay, so in this case, we're gonna have parsley, which is prezzemolo, peperoncino, so chili pepper, garlic, aglio, pomodori, tomato, and a little bit of tomato sauce, quindi un po' di salsa. E ovviamente pasta barilla.
All right. Please start.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna take actually first our tomato and we're gonna cut them. Okay. So what you wanna do is just a little cubes. Okay. Okay, perfect. So after we're gonna have our pan with a little bit of oil and gonna sizzle the garlic. So the idea is to actually put it and then take it out. With the garlic, we're gonna have a little chili pepper, un po' di peperoncino. So let's see, if it's strong, I would say half is fine. Okay? Maybe let's take out the seed, otherwise it's too spicy for Kazakhstan. So, as my grandma says, you have to eye ingredients. So I think this is enough chili pepper for Kazakhstan. We have some tomatoes, we have our pasta, and we're gonna put a little tomato sauce. Then we're gonna cook everything together, take out our garlic, and after the pasta is ready, mix. And when we mix, we're gonna garnish with a little bit of parsley, which we can maybe cut a little amount. Felicità. Okay, very good. Ok, perfetto. Ci vediamo quando è pronto.
Okay, what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna make some coffee.
We're gonna make some espresso, like Italian like it.
Okay, please go ahead.
Perfetto. Okay, then I go here. Did I do it right? Yes. What?
Yeah.
Too much? Okay, too much? Like once?
Nice.
I think it's good. Wait. Is the opposite? Yes. Nice. And my...
Да. И нажимаем.
See?
Press, yeah?
Oh, okay. Here. Oh, la la. We have it. Aspettiamo che la crema finisca. And oppa la la.
Perfect.
It's not perfect, but
It's not perfect,
It's
but
okay.
still, it's good. So, let's show what we got.
Che ne pensate? What do you think? Salute. Buono.
Our pasta is coming, yeah?
Grazie.
So, our pasta is ready. What is it again? Can you give some comments about
Is
that?
pasta arrabbiata, which means angry, mad, because there's peperoncino, chili inside, so it's a little spicy.
Okay.
Buon appetito.
All right. Now let's talk more about your hometown, home place. You come from Sardinia. That's an island. That's all we know about this place. Could you please talk about this in more detail and about tourism in Italy in general? What are other special places that Kazakhstani people should visit?
Oh, well, first of all, yes, I'm from Sardinia, and it's the second biggest island in Italy.
Hmm.
So I know when I say I'm from an island, I usually hear people, oh, Sicily, but no, there's another one. It's Sardinia, and it's, well, I personally think it's beautiful, and as many regions in Italy has a strong history and a diverse history and culture, also from the rest of Italy. So I always say you should come and see it for sure. There are seasides, there are mountains, there's nice food, of course, nice people, I believe, and I think it's very nice. Regarding tourism, Sardinia, I mean, by Italians is very well known, and also by many Europeans as a destination in the summer, because as I said, we have like a beautiful seasides. We have also mountains if you don't want to stay in the sea for a long time. And then we have food that is peculiar of Sardinia. We have festivals and many things.
What kind of festivals?
Oh, well, many. Well, if you don't like maybe the summer and if it's too hot, we have something that is called Autunno in Barbagia, which is autumn festivals all around the center of Sardinia, actually. So you can discover also different sites because Sardinia is well known for the sea, but not as much for the mountains and other traditions. Because so if you go in autumn, it's still going to be 20, 25 degrees, so you can still enjoy the nice weather, but you can discover these festivals. So it's going to be like a typical food. You can see grandmas make typical pasta, making typical pasta on the street. You can see Italian and Sardinian artists because we have also like street art that is typical also of Sardinia. In Italy, we have mostly like two places where you can go, like two mountain chains. We have Alps and we have Dolomites. If you know about in 2024, this year, we had the Winter Olympics in Cortina,
Yeah.
Cortina d'Ampezzo, which is in the Dolomites. So I would say that that's also another type of tourism that we have in Italy. It's very popular to go to the Alps, also the Italian Alps, or the French Alps, or the Swiss Alps, because we share it, or to the Dolomites, also to ski and have a nice winter, I would say.
Going back to Sardinia, it is surrounded by 3 different countries. I mean, it's neighboring 3 different countries, including Italy, France, and
Spain.
Spain. Yeah.
Yes.
Does it like? Do you guys feel any influence from this country?
Well, nowadays, yes, a little bit because we are one unified country with Italy, but historically we were very isolated since we are an island. For example, from Spain, we have some influence because in Sardinia we have one city which speaks Catalan.
Mm.
Besides, we speak Italian. A lot of people also speak Sardinian, and then we have Catalan. So
Is it kind of dialect?
No, it's a language.
Mm.
It's a language.
Sardinian, you mentioned Sardinian. Is it a dialect?
It's considered a language by the European Union,
Mm.
but as a linguistic, I would like to say that every dialect is a language.
Is it very different from Italian?
Oh yes.
Can you give examples?
I do. Unfortunately, I'm of the part of Sardinia that don't speak
Okay.
Sardo. No, but it's interesting. We have similar words in Spanish.
Mhm.
For example, if we say window, we say ventana, which is also ventana in Spanish is window. When we say table, we say mesa in Sardinia, which is the same as Spanish. But we are not similar to Spanish as a language, and the structure of the language is more like Latin than Italian. We put the verbs at the end. And if you think maybe about Star Wars and Yoda, you can imagine like this is what Sardinian or some Italians sounds like, because we always sometimes when we speak Italian from Sardinian, we make the mistake of putting the verb at the end.
Okay, and Sardinian is an island, and you mentioned something like an island person. What does it mean, an island person, and how is it different from the mainland Italy?
I feel it's more about the cultural background that we have, and also the difficulties that sometimes we face in traveling.
Wow.
Because, of course, from an island, you have to take a plane or the boat, but that's even more difficult. It takes long. And for us, if we want to move outside, we need sometimes to spend more money than maybe people who live in the isola, like in the peninsula. So in the main boot of Italy.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Also like traditions, I would say.
For us, Italy is also associated with Venice and its canals and the sea. That's quite popular. Even these days in Kazakhstan, in the city of Turkestan, they made something similar. Could you give some comments about Venice? Have you been to Turkestan and?
Okay, I haven't been to Turkestan, but I lived in Venice for years because I studied there.
Mm.
And I actually been in other places that took Venice an example. I think that's always a little fun. You know, it's an island.
Outside Italy.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. When
Where?
I used to live in Strasbourg, there's a small city near Strasbourg who is called the Little Venice because
Oh.
he also has some canals and some boats, which is always cute to see. And well, Venice, in fact, is very popular. And I always try to teach my students that Carnival mostly everybody knows Venice for Carnival, but Carnival is all over Italy, for example. But yeah.
Yeah. And if I may ask about your family, can you talk about your family, your parents? Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a twin sister.
Oh, really?
Yes, but yes.
Where is she now?
She's in Sardinia. She's working there, so she found a job. And
What about your parents?
my parents also still live in near Cagliari, which is the main city in Sardinia. And well, my mom is a nurse, so also she she works still a lot.
She's not retired yet.
No. The age of retirement in Italy, I think it's well, in Europe is after 60s. So
And what about Italy? What age people retire?
now, if I'm not mistaken, the age is getting higher.
Yeah.
So for men is 66, and for women is 64. So if you think that my mom starts working at 17 years old,
Yeah.
it's we work a long time. They say Italians are people who like to rest and live the life, but we also work for many years, I would say.
Okay. There is another topic that I'd like to mention, and which is quite common for non-Italians. This is definitely football culture, because Serie A is considered one of the strongest in the world, and in 90s it was the strongest in the world. And I'm personally a big fan of football, the clubs of Juventus, Milan, Inter. And what can I say about this and how football is popular in Italy?
Calcio is definitely popular. Calcio, I would say that maybe the second religion of Italy. I think it's a very well followed by many Italians, I personally am not. I'm atypical that way because I'm not very into calcio football. But I would say in general we followed a lot.
Is it possible to be outside the football in Italy? I think it's not possible.
Well,
because it's everywhere.
You can never be completely outside.
Yeah.
You still have friends and families who at least will talk about it. If you go to a bar, they will have the football match always showing. Mm-hmm. If you go to sometimes a restaurant, they play the football match, which is so you can never get completely out. But it's one of the fun parts. Kids when we go to school. Female and male, they play football on their free time, even if maybe they don't follow a team, but it's very incorporated in the culture, I would say.
The last World Cup in 2006, which Italy has won. After that, what was the situation in Italy? Did you guys feel very proud of it, celebrate a lot?
Oh, yes. The celebration were huge. I was very young at the time, but I remember the celebration was a lot. Also, like in TV, they would speak about it all the time on the streets. There were like parades of people celebrating. Also, like advertisement, commercials. It would revolve around the World Cup a lot. I remember that when I was young and when 2006 World Cup happened, we used to have flip phone at the times, and you had to pay for the ringtone, and these ringtones will be like showed on a commercial, so you could like call the number and pay for the ringtone.
Yeah.
And we have a song that came from the Garibaldi songs made into Materazzi. Materazzi è caduto su una gamba. Materazzi. So it was like satire. on this event, and it was popular everywhere.
And the final after Zidane hit him.
Yes, exactly. And then he says, please give us back Gioconda, which is Mona Lisa, because France has it in Louvre, but it's from Leonardo da Vinci. So it was a running joke. We won against you.
Yeah.
So give us back.
Is it still in France?
Yes, it is. It's in Louvre.
Yeah.
Exactly. They won't give us back.
All right. Emma, here you in Kazakhstan, some kind of ambassador of Italy, Italian culture in general. And could you please tell us why people should study Italian to be more interested in Italian culture and in the end of the day, go to Italy?
I believe that I think students in Kazakhstan would first of all find many opportunities to study in Italy. That's why they should learn maybe the Italian language, because as much as we are maybe international in some cities, Italian is still more popular than English to be spoken. So if you want to integrate into the community, it would be nice if you knew Italian. But also there are many opportunities for international students to go to study in Italy for probably a cheap price or like a very lower price than other countries. We have scholarship available for non-EU students. Depending on your income, you can have like a discount on the fees in many universities in Italy. And you know, they're good universities. I think the quality of education.
If I ask more about universities, you can compare Italian, French, probably Swedish universities. What makes Italian universities special?
I feel like it makes it special because when you study some historical facts or some cultural facts on Italy, maybe if you study architecture, also if you study design, if you study engineering, you go out of university and you can see it. You know, you see it with your own eyes, the history, the architecture, the culture. And in other cities, maybe not France, but for example, Sweden, is not visible to your eyes. And that's what makes Italy special that way.
So let's summarize. If a person goes to Italy to study, what they get?
So if you go to Italy, you can get fashion, you can get good food, also. You can get history, culture, architecture. You can get also opportunities for when you are students. For example, discounts, scholarship, and of course a community that sometimes when you go study, you don't always find. But I think in Italy it's always possible for you to find a community. Well, not also if you study Italian, well, you know, here in Kazakhstan, a lot of Italian companies are very big, like Eni, Agi, and I think it's easier if you speak the language to also integrate this job and get this opportunity back to Kazakhstan.
Okay. And the question for you as an Italian, having a name Emma Piretti, do you consider opening any kind of brand, clothes, shoes, or anything in Kazakhstan?
If you have a business partner that wants to use my name, please refer it to me. But as of now,
everything is negotiable.
Yes, it's negotiable. That's for sure. We can negotiate. But I'm not into fashion. I'm more of a language.
Language school, Emma Piretti, sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. For now, is only the one I'm working.
Okay, Emma, thank you very much for your interview, for your time. What can you say in the end to the people?
Well, in Italy, when we say goodbye, we usually use buona serata or buona giornata. But since I hope to see many people that want to know about Italy more, maybe at our school in Almaty and Astana, praticamente, I don't want to leave you with a goodbye, but with a ciao. So I hope to see you and hear about you again. Then, well, as you can see, Fermento is Italian approved, so you can come here if you want to have some nice pasta or nice coffee.